Hey, Omar again with Chicago Cycle Network. And I'm just so happy and elated that we have a lot of people who are coming out to sit down and talk with us so we can get to know them because, again, these are the people that makes the network in Chicago amazing, good culture to be in. People become, you see them and all of a sudden you guys are hanging out and sharing, sitting at barbecues and going on rides just by yourself, but also as a part of a group. And today we're with somebody who I think is an epitome of that. And we met through XXX. We've actually met several times before, back in the days.
You saw us riding with you a lot.
Yeah. And then eventually I joined XXX after years of like saying I'm going to join, but finally I joined. So here we are today. But again, guys, thanks everybody for subscribing and helping to promote the channel, spread the word, and all the support I've been getting. So really appreciate that. And today I'm here with Matt, and Chicago needs have some amazing leaders here, and I can tell you whenever he posts a ride for XXX, he really steps up and is a really good leader in the community. And you guys will see him on XXX, right? And, yeah. And you'll see him and get to know him. And again, don't be shy. I think he's a really good guy and a good person to ride with, very safe and all the good stuff. So Matt, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, Omar.
Introduce yourself.
Yeah,
let's
thank you.
Have a conversation.
So my name is Matt Talbert. I've been on XXX now for 11 years. And
Wow.
I just found myself getting more involved. And you are right, I'm a regular on our Saturday team ride. And quick sidebar, you live conveniently close to the Wednesday night ride and our team ride starts.
Yes, it makes it perfect. So let's a little diversion. So before I went to the WNR rides, I used to go show up with Jamaican rum and have shots.
Okay. Before
because I'm like literally 3 blocks away from WNR, and then I'm just like less than a mile from Pratt for the starting point.
The shots before the ride, not after.
After the ride.
Okay, I was going to say it's not because then you're used to that with the high life.
Yeah. So finally they're like, hey, you keep on coming to with WNR, but not riding with us. Seem to come to the group rides. I'm looking fine. So finally I showed up to the ride. And the reason because I had my kids at home and I couldn't leave my kids; they were too young. So when they get older, I finally able to join. So yeah. So you say you're in XXX. That's the main group you ride with?
That's the only team I've ever been on since I joined the racing community. I've been involved for 11 years. I'm on the team management.
Okay.
So I'm not the official team ride leader. But when I'm there, I tend to be the guy that's like, you're doing the rules today. And I ended up taking over the Laval Woods practice races too. And this stuff just doesn't happen overnight. You just kind of show up, you gain knowledge out of the history of the ride or, the Laval Woods event, and people look to you to determine when are we starting the first race? How do we do registration? Or when are we moving the team ride, summer hours or winter hours? What are the rules? And it's just, you keep showing up and people look to you for leadership after all this time. And it's kind of funny. I think about where I started. I remember my first XXX meeting. I was kind of timid in the corner. It's like, that's unfortunately just how I've been. And so trying to struggle into social circles growing up. It's amazing to see where I came from. The timid person at the meeting in the corner, to being on leadership and being a known name on that team.
Yeah. So you said you're in management. So kind of what specific role do you play with XXX?
So XXX is a nonprofit. And because we are a nonprofit, we have an electable board. So I'm on that board. That was the elections were within the team. And there we just kind of make decisions about, say, Fulton Market, Laval Woods. We're going to do another race. What else do we want to do for the community? Being that nonprofit, make sure that we include juniors, WTF, especially be a very inclusive group and make sure more people get involved in racing. And I don't want to keep plugging Laval Woods just because it's my thing that I oversee, but that's an important event because racing can be scary. I mean,
racing is scary.
Okay, racing is scary.
Crit racing is scary.
You look at it, you see these people in micro going around. It, from a spectator, seems faster than it actually is. And it's scary, but you want to do it. So the Ball Woods is that environment where if you're scared to try a race for the first time and you're just terrified of bike racing in general, that's the place to go do it, to get started.
Yeah, so expound a little bit on Labar Woods, because I think a lot of people, I know what it is, but for somebody who don't know what Labar Woods is, could you explain like what is it specifically?
Yes, great question. And I'll talk about, you know, some of our outreach methods. So there's an area, Foster and Cicero, part of the forest preserves, called Labar Woods. It's a closed loop circle, not technical, and you could permit it. So we got a permit with the forest preserve and we shut it off, just bike racing. And it's an easy closed loop circle. We start each night with a clinic. It will be Tuesday nights this year from May. Check the XXX page. I don't know it offhand, the XXX Instagram account. But it's Tuesday from April 8th through May 13th. Okay, so I do remember. Every Tuesday night, 5:30 registration, 6 o'clock racing, and we have an A group. So if you're on, you know, a faster club and you just want to get ready for Toad or get the cobwebs out, it's good for you too. But if you want to try racing for the first time, there's some clinics. It's a closed loop environment. Nothing is difficult. So there's a B group where it's a little bit slower. People are just trying a race just to get going. And a couple of our elite members will hang back with them and give in-race coaching.
Oh, that's awesome.
So it's a really good event to get started for the first time.
Yeah, and I think I saw that Dean going to be giving a clinic there.
That is correct. Dean of Bikes.
Dean of Bikes. And if you guys don't know Dean of Bikes, we featured him before. I think it was him and Brian Guac that we featured one time. So if you don't know, Dean is, and he's hard to miss. He's about 6'13" tall. he's a tall guy. And he's a very handsome guy too, so he's hard to miss.
He might be easy to miss because
he's so fast, right?
Gone in a few seconds.
But he's also like again, champion rider and one of the best in town. And again, if you see him, you'll know he is, and he's also a coach, right? So
he is a certified coach.
Yeah. So let's support him if we can. That's one of the points I want to bring up to you. But let's get back to that. Yeah. So you know, you're triplex for 11 years. You're also in management. You mainly focus on help out with the Labar crits practice to kind of get people to come in. If it's your first time, you're kind of a bit scared. I don't know about crit racing. You kind of, hey, here's what we do. We have clinics. You know, you learn the etiquette of crit racing, which is fantastic. So
very important for us that have been doing it for a while.
I applaud you guys for that. So let's back up a little bit. So how long have you been biking? Have you been biking for 11 years, or did you work biking before? What did you do before you even got into biking?
So there's two answers to that. I've been riding my bike since I've been able to turn pedals.
Huh.
It was always my main mode of transportation. Obviously, when I got my driver's license, it fell back a little bit, but I wasn't afraid to stretch the limits in terms of distance with my bike compared to some of my friends growing up. So there was a Best Buy that was a little treacherous to get to when we were kids, but
this is in the Chicago area?
This is in Northbrook, Illinois. I'll say.
Okay, so you
treacherous in terms of fast traffic.
Gotcha. So you're originally from the area.
Yeah, I've grown up, lived in the Chicago suburbs my whole life. Spent a little bit of time in Lincoln Park, but I would ride to this Best Buy to get video games that everyone else was too afraid to go to, or they had to rely on their parents.
CDs and all this good stuff too.
Yes, back when there was physical media. It was more for the video games, stick in the bag with a cartridge on my handlebars. And I kept it going a little bit when I got my driver's license, like I said. I brought my bike to college, but it really took off when I graduated college and moved to Chicago, because the lakefront path was right there. I never had nice bikes. I had low-end mountain bikes you get from Target. And I just loved riding the lakefront path. It renewed my love of cycling, or I should say enhanced it. And I was able to push that clunky mountain bike quite a bit. I was like, I think I could do better with a nicer bike. So I eventually got a road bike 13 years ago. It's like, I want to try racing. I got a road bike from Performance Bike on Diversey and Halstead.
Is it still there?
Nope. all the performance bikes are gone. They are online only, unfortunately. But it took me 2 years to actually try a race. I just didn't feel like I was fast enough, and I was a little scared. It is intimidating if you hadn't done it the first time. You know, I kind of wanted a year to get used to the, you know, clipped on pedals. That's some, we've all had those fails, and some of us still do, and it's okay. And then the second year I started road cycling, I did the North Shore Century, and towards the end, I had known of XXX kind of, but I found them and I was just kind of sucking their wheels at the end of the 2013 North Shore Century. And then I was like, okay, if I was able to hang on to them for that, maybe I could give this a shot.
Oh, nice, nice. And that's the evolution.
That's where it kind of took off. So in 2014, I joined the team, but before that, if you remember Tuxedo Thunder, it's an old club. Some of them are still around. They show up on the Wednesday night rides. They had a clinic at LeBaugh Woods to start the season. And I felt pretty good doing that. I was like, okay, I think I could compete in this. Keyword is competes. Podiums don't really come so easily for some of us. We all know that person. It's like, yeah, it was my first race. I got a podium. It's like, nope, that was not me. But I just enjoy doing it, even if, you know, I'm in the middle of the pack.
And hey, you got to have to try it, and if you don't try, you'll never know. So you say you went to college. You went to college in Chicago. In
Actually, so I said I grew up in Chicagoland. I went to college at the University of Iowa. No, and I did have my bike there. I rode around campus a bit. There was a nice trail nearby, but nothing like what I do now.
Gotcha. So what do you study when you're in college?
I study political science.
Oh, so you have a good idea what's going on currently. Kind of, sort of.
And a sidebar, the bike sometimes helps you escape the chaos going on. Unfortunately, sometimes when you're on a solo ride, it's all you think about.
Unfortunately,
no.
Yeah, sometimes solo ride can clean your mind, and sometimes it can just focus on this one little thing. You're like, but okay, good. So, political science, University of Iowa. See, we're getting to know, man, because I didn't know this about you. So, and you've been biking for a long time. So when you were racing back in the days, you're mainly doing like trying to do crits, or are you more like road racing, gravel, cyclocross?
Yeah. So unfortunately, living in Chicago, in the Chicago suburbs, Chicagoland area, if you're a roadie, crits are really all you have if you don't want to drive more than like 2 or 3 hours away. I'm a pure roadie. I do have a bike that I can use for gravel on the Des Plaines River Trail or on gravel surfaces, but I'm a roadie through and true. If there's a road race nearby, I would love to do it. It's just your selection is
no. Have you done a race to lake?
I've wanted to do that, and life happens. As you know, you have kids. I have kids.
Yeah, life. Every single time that ride is going on, and I think I'm at my best fitness is like I have to be camping with my family somewhere. And I have to be camping on the opposite side of the state, so I can never make it. But I've been asking my wife, maybe this year, if I'm in top shape, I want to check it out.
Yeah, I wanted to do that this year, but my wife already scheduled the trip to Michigan for that same weekend. So, but I could ride in Michigan, so can't beat that.
Exactly. I'm actually going to Michigan for vacation. I think in June it'll be like a week. We've got an Airbnb. Going to be somewhere. My wife knows all the plan. I'm just going to show up.
If you're near New Buffalo, I got some good routes for you.
All right, I will. You know, I remind you about when I'm going, so we can organize and centralize, because I need some new roads and some new places in my life. So yeah, so you guys, so with XXX, you guys have like weekly rides and weekend rides, and can you tell people, just in case people don't run XXX, and you know, I mean, I'm a member of XXX now. It's like $100 for the membership fee, but
easy to join.
But the thing is, a lot of the money that you get a lot of discounts, and a lot of the money go towards community stuff. As you mentioned, it's a non-profit, right? So,
correct.
So it helps a lot. I mean, if you go to the website, you'll see all the stuff that they do, and it's, man, I'm happy I'm finally a part of the XXX team, and the family aspect of things in the chat. You know, you want something, you say, hey, I need this, and people are like, okay, got it, come and get it, and you get stuff for discount and all kind of crazy stuff. So I really enjoy being a part of XXX. So yeah, so talk about a little bit like the weekend, the daily rides and the weekend rides.
So the Saturday team ride, that is our main ride. Someone usually will always be in Wicker Park or Pratt and Ridge for the Saturday morning ride. From April until the end of November, the rides start at 7 a.m. at Wicker Park and then 7:30 a.m. at Pratt and Ridge. And then from December through the end of March, it's 8:30. I recently pulled an April Fool's prank saying we're doing super summer hours, 6:30 June, July, and August. And a couple people were like, well, it's not a terrible idea. And some people really hated me for that.
April Fools.
Yeah, it's not 6:30, but we are now on 7:30.
Okay, perfect. And it's warming up now, so I'll be showing up. So this, the Saturday ride, you know, there's a very specific format where, so you can explain. So if people want to come to the ride, this is what to expect. So could you?
Yeah. So back to my point about making people comfortable to get into cycling or bike racing. Good thing about our Saturday team ride is it works for both communities in terms of the people that want to get into it and they're not so comfortable, and the Cat 2, if you will, Cat 2 and up. So our ride up to Highland Park starts in Wicker Park, rendezvous at Pratt and Ridge, is a no-drop ride. So we are as slow as the slowest rider. If they're going 18 or 17, fine. Maybe even a couple times it's been less than that. The idea is to get people who are new to learn how to ride in a group. We don't really pace line on the no drop ride, but it kind of feels like that when it's two lines. Just ride with, seasoned cyclists. We get to Highland Park, then people will discuss, I want to go longer, I'm just going to go back. And then it does become a drop ride. So if you are, the higher category seasoned cyclist, then you have the second half of that ride to go as fast as you want. And usually you will find someone that will go your pace on the way back.
Yeah, because I've been on that ride before. The first time I did not know what was happening, and I went to Highland Park and everybody's hanging out and having coffee.
A lot of discussion.
And I saw people. I saw some guys took off, and I'm like, "What's going on here?" So I had to I was going hard to catch the group and finally caught up, and then we did the old St. Mary loop. And that time I was on tubulars. So I went up to St. Mary, and right by the first light in St. Mary, I got a flat.
Oh man,
I had a flat.
Was I there that day?
I don't remember. I know Diddy was there, and I think that was my first time because I was kind of making my way in the group. Still, wasn't members yet, and people had seen, but they didn't realize I could actually pull as fast as I was pulling, and they were like, "Wait a minute!" And then I had a flat. So the group left me, and I rode back on my tubular at like 12, 13 miles an hour from St. Mary's all the way back to Chicago. And the good thing is it's tubular, so you can ride it for
make it work.
I can make it work. So.
That stuff always happens at the furthest point, doesn't it?
I know.
I one time took a post-work ride on a Friday. I was like, I'll go to Old School and back. On Old School Road, my rear derailleur hanger snapped. Always. No.
Well, you're still here. So
I made it. I was a little aggravated and dropped some words that I can't say to your audience, but it happens.
No, it's a part of cycling. You live, you learn, and so now I don't use tubulars anymore because I kind of bought those. To be honest with you, I bought those tubulars on eBay, but I didn't understand what tubular meant. So they were a good price. I got them, and I was trying to fit the tube, regular tire in it. I'm like, this thing is not fitting. And I was like, it's tubular.
Good for racing, though.
Oh, my God. You have to get a special type. It has to be glued on and blah, blah. So the tubular, that's the front one. That's still on.
All right.
And then the back one, which flatted, is actually in the closet, tucked away. So
those could be dedicated race wheels or pit wheels.
Yes. Oh. Yes. So again, that was in the beginning of me learning about what tubular versus clincher and disc brake and all meant. So anyway, so I don't use anymore. So now all my bikes are all clinchers and have tubes in them, and they can be tubeless, but I'm not there yet. I'm not crossing with tubeless as yet. I still run tubes in my tire.
you could run tubeless, just don't proselytize to me about it.
Exactly. So, people are transitioning to all different types of things now. So, all right. So, learn a little bit about you. So, how many bikes do you have?
I have 3 bikes.
What's the spread?
I have a Cervelo R2, and I'm a sci-fi fantasy nerd, so they all have 2 out of the 3 have a sci-fi fantasy nerd name. The first one is Daenerys. I'm sure most people are familiar. A white Cervelo. I saw it in roll in Lincoln Park when they did exist, and I saw it on the wall. I was like, I need to buy that. Now, I had been shot. I was in there to buy a bike, so it was not like I walked in and got it. I also have a Cannondale CAD 10. That bike is named Shibi. That's the lead singer of a rock band, The Birthday Massacre. I recommend you look them up. They're different.
I'll check it out.
Yeah.
I'll check it out.
Yeah. And then I have a Cannondale CAD X named Arwen. And I got that bike during the pandemic because we live close to the Des Plaines River Trail. It's like, as I said, I'm a pure roadie. That's probably 80 to 85% of my riding, but sometimes I want to go on the Des Plaines River Trail and go on the gravel and, get a little dirty. So I got a CAD 10 or a CAD X that works my size, and, that's all I really need for now.
Yeah, that's awesome. So I talk about, I got a gravel bike because my friends from Cartel was like, hey, get a gravel bike. I got a gravel bike, and I've ridden a gravel bike in a gravel ride one time. One time. So now I just took it to my in-laws, and it's a steer, and my father want to ride it because we're about this. I mean, it's a bigger
bike. If you have
bike,
gravel roads there, it makes sense.
But it's just taking up space. I'm like, you know what? I've ridden to work a couple of times, but never on the trail. And I'm like, one time, and I'm like, that's it. I'm like,
I didn't have to squeeze through bikes to get down here. So
yeah.
If there was a will, there's a way to bring the bike back.
Yeah. So are you a rim brake or a disc brake? Or you ever mix?
That my 2 road bikes are rim brake. So that's what the standard was when I got them. And my CAD X is a disc brake.
Disc brake. Yeah, so I only have one disc brake, and everything else is rim because it stops the bike, and that's it.
There's a secret subculture, not so secret, in XXX called the rim brake mafia. And one of our longtime teammates, Matt Grosbeach, created logos for it with sayings like "We never bleed" or "Silence is golden." And on the last team ride, it started raining, and all the disc brakes were, And then I grabbed my rim brakes, nothing, no sound.
So I've also learned that, they always try to sell this disc brake and blah, blah, blah for the pros. But I was reading somebody says that in those pelotons, those brakes are so loud and noisy.
I'm sure.
So they have like a noise canceling specifically for those for the brake sound
that they could afford.
Right. So when you're watching those rides, you're like, oh man, it's so quiet, and it's because they cancel the sound of the brake.
Wait, they cancel it through the broadcast?
The broadcast cancel it.
Oh, so okay. I thought you were saying there was a
nothing
noise canceling. It's like
the broadcast they cancel.
Okay.
But sometimes when it's very wet and rainy, it's hard.
It's impossible.
You can hear it. I'm like, I don't want to have those loud sounding brakes.
Yeah.
As I said to my friends when they make a sound, that's the expensive sound.
It is. Yeah.
But hey, if it works for you,
it's the standard. The next bike will probably have it, and it'll be okay.
Yeah, exactly. So it is what it is. So yeah. So are you a big fan of indoor riding, or are you mainly kind of outdoor? How is your indoor biker training?
My indoor bike riding is out of necessity only. Now, I am
Zwift or trainer out of Ruby.
Trainer road all the way. I tried Zwift for a little bit during the lockdown of the pandemic, but outside of cycling, I am a data analyst. That's not my full title, but I was just staring at the data box on this Zwift thing. It's like, well, this is stupid. So when I get on the trainer, it's like, I want my 60 or 90 minutes of my peaks and valleys, get on, put on some music, get off. That's it. Now, I don't do the virtual team ride, which if you want to do that, great.
That's me.
Yeah, that starts too late. I want to get on at 6 or 7, be done. And I try and do the trainer as little as possible. I prefer outside all the way.
I prefer outside, and I was doing it for quite some time in the beginning, but when it gets really cold, but I was getting really sick from just being outside. And I decided, you know what?
Yeah, if there's a health issue.
And I'm like, you know what? I mean, I was getting like coughs that would last for like 3, 4 months. I had like pneumonia, kind of my lung was like fluid in my lung. I'm like, it is not worth it. So like last year and this year, I'm like straight indoor. I'm going to be when it gets cold in Chicago.
So what's your threshold? Like
for
what's your like how
now
cold is that?
before I would do even 15 degrees.
Okay. That's I couldn't do 15.
I needed gloves, needed sock, needed vest for quite all the way and everything. And then we'd actually go and stop at the different like the coffee shops at Pete's, or back in the days we used to go to the Starbucks in Highland Park. We used to go on the ground to stop to have coffee and everything, and then come back out. And I'm like, man, but it was
at that point it's not worth it.
Yeah, no. and then even 40, and now if it's like even like 50 degrees, I'm not going outside.
Okay, no.
I'm like, no, I if it's higher, I will do it. Now I Zwift. I mean, I've done the painstaking of spending 6 hours on Zwift nonstop. I've just completed.
It blows my mind.
I've just completed every single accessible route badge on Zwift.
Wow.
Last night.
No, that is a lot of hours on Zwift. You are a Zwifty.
Yes, but it keeps me fit and keeps
you going, and that's what matters. It's personal preference.
Because I just don't want to be, lose my fitness when I go outside. I go to Dublin and get dropped, or just can't pull or whatever. So
I've not seen you get dropped yet. On a ride.
Well, not yet. I hope I don't. I'm getting older now, and those kids are getting young. You're young and getting faster, so I have to just put in
the masters group.
Yes, and I've just put in the work and just try to. At least when I go to a group, I can pull and contribute a little bit and as best as possible. So you're not a big fan of indoor. I mean, it is what it is.
It's so I like the workout that you get from an indoor ride. So on Trainer Road, it's very purposeful, and I feel good about myself afterwards, even if it really kicks me pretty hard. But it gets me ready to go for the season. But otherwise, like I went this morning. The feels like was probably 32, 33, but I'd rather get outside. I live near the North Branch Trail. I'd rather, get on the trail, be in nature for a bit. It's a great way to start the day.
And nothing wrong. I wish I was close to the trail, but I have to ride a little bit to get out of where I'm at. Or I could get a little bit west and jump on McCormick and then take McCormick to Green Bay, but still.
Yeah.
But whatever I have, it works.
Whatever works, as long as you're
outdoors and indoors, it works for me. This is fantastic. So, any favorite road that you like to ride in Chicago?
What's favorite road?
Do you have one?
So,
or anything?
I mentioned the North Branch Trail. I've logged thousands and thousands of miles on that trail. When my kids are out of school, and my wife's a teacher, so she doesn't have to work in the summer either. I'll go do the whole trail and rollers like before work and be showered and at my desk at 8:00. So I want to say that that's my favorite route. It's nice to be in nature. It's better to get on early. It doesn't quite get like the lakefront path. But if I'm out there early, there's other people that know like how to use the trail properly before it gets too crowded. Another route that I like in Chicago. Oh, Barrington. Definitely Barrington.
I was waiting for you to say either like say Barrington or Hunts Road or one of those places up north, because we did 100 miler. We take 100 for a very long time.
Hunt Club.
Hunt Club.
It's a well. There's a road. What is it? Belvedere. If we do the Sisters route, that is what Diddy on our team was called the necessary evil 2-lane highway. 50 miles an hour. But when we do the border run, we go left and we're barely on it to get to Hunt Club.
Yes.
But when you're doing Sisters and you're going back, the first time I did that, I was like, I might die. No, it's okay with the group though.
Yeah. If you have a nice little group. But the roads up, I really like the roads up north. Anything for me that don't have like a bunch of stoplights, I will take.
Yeah.
In this area. Anything like from like Tower Road and Green and Sheridan all the way up to Highland Park, enjoy that. We leave the fort at West and Elm to like St. Mary's up St. Mary's. I love that.
You can't get sick of some of these routes.
No,
out here.
cannot. And you can always do the old school. It's so work there's an old school loop that you guys
Yeah,
do
so many
sometimes.
options.
It's fantastic. So good places to ride. So if you really want to enjoy, if you want to be away from traffic and people, and best place, guys, north of the city is where it's at, or Northburn Trail, because there's this nice little trail.
If you hit it early enough.
Yeah. And Bunny Trail is actually pretty nice. Well, let's call it Skokie Trail.
Yes.
From Lake Cook to 176 is actually pretty nice.
And we do have to go on that for a bit when we're coming back from our border runs, because we cannot go on Sheridan for a little bit on bikes, if you recall.
Right. Or we can just go all the way east and then take the lake and come back along the lake in Lake Forest area.
Yeah.
That's a nice
that
one.
is
But I love
Lake Bluff.
I love Skokie Trail. But we call it the Bunny Trail because there's a lot of rabbits. It's always there.
Okay.
So the nickname is Bunny Trail.
Bunny Trail. I did not know that.
Yeah.
We have a pet bunny, actually.
Oh, you
we
do?
recently got a pet bunny, yes.
Oh, nice. We have no pets at home. I'm the pet at home. That's what my wife says. Yeah. So when I was back with EBC, Evanston Bike Club, every day, literally, we go up Green Bay, cut across Lake Cook, Bunny Trail to 176 and come back. That was the route every single time. And they nickname again Bunny Trail because it's a lot of rabbits. You count like 50 rabbits. And sometimes you're in the trail and you see a rabbit just like hanging out, and all of a sudden a hawk.
Ooh, that's sad. With a pet bunny, that's sad to hear. But I mean, they're in the wild. Yeah,
you see that a lot.
They're all doing they're doing what they're
even sometimes I've seen the hawks. They catch rats.
I've seen on a couple rides some hawks pick up some squirrels or rats.
Yeah, so. Again, this is nature. We get to see everything.
Yeah, that's
Chicago.
why you need to get on a bike.
Exactly. Because you get some cool things. You can go farther. I mean, I used to be a runner, and then when I picked up biking, I can go so much further, and I can see so much more cool things that I will never get to see as a runner.
Yeah.
Right.
And one thing I want to point out, what's amazing is we have this big metropolis nearby. People don't know the nature preserves that we have nearby, like LeBaugh Woods, Forest Glen. It's a beautiful nature preserve through there that's right near a major bustling city. Like, it's not quite like it is quiet like Central Park, but you can go get a ride in on these beautiful trails and live in this major city right nearby.
Yeah.
So we're really grateful for our trail system.
And then when I went on the thing, it was the Cortada Beer Ride, and we went down like McCormick Pathway. Then we went like, I think that's it's a close to DPR to North Branch Trail.
Yeah.
And we get it done all the way down. I'm like, this is pretty amazing. I didn't even know it existed.
Yeah.
So Chicago, we have some really nice trails here. If you're willing to just go a little bit west of the city, man, you have like nice riding.
Yes.
So
we're grateful.
Highly recommend if you can check it out. North Branch Trail, DPRT. I think in the last interview with Lisa Hellerin, she mentioned some really nice trails that I didn't even know exist. I want to check out some of those places too. And again, if you can get past the trail and head down on the lake path and pass downtown and go, you can head all the way to Indiana. Beautiful ride down that side.
Yeah, we've touched Indiana a couple times.
Is that Wolf Lake Loop or
Wolf Lake? Yes, that is a popular Sunday option for XXX. We don't have a Sunday ride, but we have Sunday options, and that's one of them.
Yeah. So I know that you guys are doing the 3-state ride or something like that.
Yes.
So let people know that, hey.
Yes. So that is, I believe we have it September 20th. It's posted on Strava, so it's public. So you don't have to be on XXX to join that ride or to RSVP to the Strava event. So one of our founding members, Eric Spratling, he's one of the hearts on the XXX jerseys that you'll see. When he was around, he just would try and gather people to go for a crazy long ride. And he was notorious for this route that would go up to Wisconsin and back just to get an insane amount of miles in one day. He unfortunately died of a brain aneurysm in a bike race in 1999. So that's why we have one of his hearts on our jersey. The ride is called the Eric Spratling Memorial 3-State Ride. And we do it in his memory every year. You need to have Jared Rogers on one time.
Yes.
He could give a lot more information.
Yes, I'm going to be talking to Jared pretty soon.
Good. He's a XXX historian.
Yeah, he's busy with
Taxes. Yes.
Yeah. So no, I spoke to him. So yeah. So we go all the way north to Wisconsin.
Yes.
Then we come back and all the way south to
Indiana. There's a McDonald's right at the border. We go touch Indiana, feast at McDonald's, and then head home.
Yeah, so I did it last year, but I didn't finish because my kids are at home, and I'm like, you know what?
It's a commitment.
If I pass home, I can't. And if my kids were out, I've done it. But hopefully this year I will do everything.
Yeah.
I wish we could head south and then go north. But anyway, north and south and come back north. Anyway, I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to do the entire ride because it was a lot of fun.
It is fun.
I had a blast.
Yeah. We schedule it, this far out because it takes up your day. You'll get home at 5 o'clock, but it's a ton of fun. And one day a year, you could spend an entire day on a bike.
Yes. So I'm gonna ask my wife that September 20th of this year, please allow me to go.
It's in the calendar.
It's on the calendar, please. I really want to do this right. It's about 120, 30,
150 miles.
50 miles.
Oh.
And you're good peoples. I mean, you're going to be taken care of.
Be all together. You can eat a lot.
Exactly. A lot of food. I mean, the last time, was it Jared who posted like his big spreadsheet of what he's going to eat in the group and his food intake. And I was like,
yes, that was intense.
I was like, that's a little bit too much. But everything goes down to a queue about like this amount of food every couple of hours or miles. I'm like,
that was another level. It's just, is it an hour? Yep, another gel.
And then for that ride from Mountain Mile, I think I didn't eat anything. All I had was like 2 goose.
I've made that mistake before.
And I was good. I felt
I would have bonked. That
day I felt like very, very strong. I mean, I was like, yeah. And at that point I was training to not like eat a lot of food anyway. So in most of my rides now, I actually don't eat as much anymore.
Oh, wow. I wouldn't be able to do that.
Only goose.
Oh, okay. Well, that's something.
Right. I need electrolyte, but like, eating like these fig bars and this and that, I don't eat stuff.
I think gels kind of count. I like the SIS gels because it's just quick.
So I have SIS. I have
they don't sponsor me.
Element.
Yeah. I
and also have the goo, like the goo. No caffeine. No, I don't know caffeine in my stuff either.
Okay. Yeah, I'll take it in coffee, but I don't want to go overloaded.
Yeah, and unfortunately this year I'm cutting back on coffee. So I think I've only had 1 cup of coffee for the entire year so far.
Oof. I can't remember the last day I didn't have a cup of coffee.
I went dry January, February, and until about late March. I actually had my first cup of coffee yesterday.
Wow.
And I did almost dry until like about a week ago.
No, I haven't had alcohol in a long time, but coffee, I can't give that up. That's my only vice left.
No, hey, nothing wrong with that.
No.
Actually, I'm trying to do that more mushroom stuff now and stuff like that.
I've seen YouTube ads for that and all over the place. It's like, not today. Let us know how it is, though.
No, I like it. I like it a lot.
Oh, good.
I like it a lot. There's mud and there's raisin and all different stuff. I tried it and it works. It's actually not too bad. Yeah, so learn many things about you. Political science. Didn't know that.
Yes.
University of Illinois.
Iowa.
University of Iowa. Caught me on that one.
Yeah.
Critting. Making long miles. He has 3 bikes, rim brake, disc brake, all sort of different things. And he's, still helping XXX, Lamar, that's his thing. I want to go to check it out one of these days, hopefully. And I think you do have to get a license, right?
You do have to get a license. XXX will cover your first 1-day license. After that, you will have to pay for one day license.
So guys, these are little things you've got to learn for people who don't know about it. But you want to get into, at least to get a good taste of what Crit is about. And again, I think they do a fantastic job. And I went to the end of year party this year, and that was just amazing to see how you guys bring people together and just, man, I'm happy to be a part of what you guys are doing finally after all these years. But again,
we're happy to have you.
Yeah, I'm a young cyclist. I mean, less than 5 years. Started biking like in end of 2019.
Look like you've been doing it a while.
Yeah, just, and I'm an old guy. I guarantee I'm a lot older.
We don't need to share ages. No. You'll find out maybe whatever Masters race I register for.
Okay, we'll see. So, So what keeps you going? Like, what keeps you going on the bike?
So sometimes you'll see Strava rides that I post called, I'm riding for my stupid mental health. And you know what? It works. So I am an anxiety sufferer. I'm not afraid to share that. And the bike helps immensely. Just whether it's a group ride or getting out in nature, that just helps me feel better mentally. And I feel better physically just from riding a lot. Some people, unfortunately, don't take care of themselves when they get to a certain age. But I'm sure you noticed around our community, everyone looks pretty good for their age.
Yeah.
You notice. So just to put it in, to sum it up rather, it makes me feel better physically and mentally. So if I were to stop, then I think my mental health would start to go and my physical health would start to go, and that would be worse too. If something were to happen, I would find, another physical activity. I weightlift too, more in the winter, less in the summer. And I weightlift because I feel like I have to, not because I want to, but I ride because I want to.
Got you. Somebody asked me if I lift before. I said, no, I don't lift because weights are too heavy.
No.
I just ride, and I'm trying to think about doing some squats and some stuff now.
I will do squats and deadlifts in the winter.
Yeah, because I'm prepping to get back to outside in about May. So I jokingly said that I'm actually training. I'm literally started for this month. I'm on a training schedule. I'm going to train myself, and I'm doing these different workouts and Zwift and keep.
That's what's good about about Zwift and Trainer Road. It's very structured and very regimented.
I think you can do social ride to recover, and then you got very strict riding. So that's my thing now until May. So when it warms up, I think I want to be close to my fitness or the same fitness.
Yeah,
so that's what
we'll find out.
We'll find out. We'll see. I really hope I don't get dropped this year. But yeah, so man, we've covered a lot. So as we wrap up, come to an end, and again, I think we've learned a lot about you. And is there anything else you want to add before we finish up, or you think we have covered? Get to know you as best as possible. So you say you have kids, right?
Yes, I have two kids.
Are they into cycling?
The younger one is. The older one, kind of. They love coming out to races. They love marshalling. I don't know if they're going to watch this, but the younger one, I think, will probably be on the XXX Juniors program one day. The older one, she's more of like a gymnast and a swimmer.
Gotcha. And what about your wife?
She doesn't really ride like I do. She does have a road bike. We rode as a family in Cades Cove in Smoky Mountain National Park.
Oh, I've been
together. Yeah,
I've been to Smoky Mountains, man.
It's nice.
Amazing.
It is. That whole area is a good cycling destination. I recommend.
And I think we climbed that hill mountain thing, and then you go in this overlook thing and see all the 3 stairs. I forgot the name of that stuff. It's that you have to walk up it. The thing was like this steep in Smoky Mountains.
Yeah, I think I remember.
And it's
not a bike trail. It's a hiking.
It's a hiking trail,
yeah.
and it goes across the
Appalachian Trail.
Literally,
I say it right. I hope I said it right.
Yeah, I think you did. I think I'd have butchered it, so I didn't say it. So I actually went down the Appalachian Trail like about 10 steps. I'm like, I did walk on this trail in my entire life. I did do it.
I did the same thing.
But then you keep on walking up, and then you go on this overlook. And you have like a 360 view, and you can see like
the
3 states.
I did see that.
States,
I did go up there.
Yeah, but I think it was like I was really heavy to walk up that stuff. You park and you walk up like a 0.6 miles or so to get up to that little thing. That was crazy.
If you don't mind me going off on a little tangent, so I did walk up that. When my wife and I first got married, I was not in the best of shape. I rode not like I did now, as I keep saying in this podcast. So I was a little heavy. We went on a hike in Clare Island in Ireland, and I struggled up that hill. And it really wasn't that difficult a hill. A couple of years ago, we went to Crater Lake in Oregon. And when you go down this really steep ramp and get sights of the beautiful lake, and then the walk up is tough. I was like, you are all out of shape, everyone else walking up. So the same experience walking up that ramp. I was around people that were struggling. I might sound a little egotistical now. It was like, I'm going up this, no problem. So when you cycle, you are just in good overall health.
Exactly. It's going to help your cardio. It's going to help
Yes.
everything. I put a little cross training there. Perfect. Again, hardcore runner, and my friends are like, "Oh, you're not running no more." I'm like, you know what? I am enjoying riding, and it's
Yeah.
low impact. I'm having fun. The key thing is I'm trying to stay healthy. I mean, when I was a runner, I was like about I don't know 20, 30 pounds lighter because I was a skinny kid, skinny dude. Not kid because I'm still old, but I was way much lighter than this. But when I've cycled, my legs just like blow up. And now,
In a good way.
Yeah. And me and Eva joke about our legs being chunky sausage. So whenever my kids see Eva, they're like, "Oh, Eva, chunky sausage." Or we make joke about it. But man, so much amazing health benefit from cycling.
Absolutely.
I bike for mental health too. You
Yeah.
know, my wife,
a lot of people do.
The same thing too. And at least when I go on the bike, I say to my wife, "Hey, when I go on the bike, when I'm out there, I won't spend the entire day, but just give me my chance. I work really hard. You work really hard. So when we get on the bike, just let us do our thing."
Yeah.
You know, and the good thing about being on Zwift also is like when I'm on Zwift, my wife cannot say I left the house because I'm here. See, life hack.
Yes.
I'm here. You can't say I left the house. I'm here. So
I will say the indoor riding doesn't do the same for my mental health. And what's funny, well, I guess this isn't funny, but it gets hard in the winter sometimes when I lose my outdoor riding. I mean, like, it's too hard to do in 15 degrees. Some people can, all power to you. My therapist said, you need to consider a trip, in late December, early January to someplace warm. It's like,
go to Jamaica.
Yeah. I would
Jamaica.
I was thinking Arizona, but like you took it to another level. No.
And if you go to Jamaica, go to Portland. You go to Portland, I can take care of you. I keep on telling people, if you go to Jamaica, go to Portland. I'm from Portland. I know people in Portland. I can get hooked up with many, many things and many stuff. So
yeah. But I was going to say, hey, Lisa, my wife, my therapist said I have to go on this winter bike trip somewhere nice and warm. No.
One more thing too. So there's actually a training camp for XXX.
Yes, there is.
So yeah, so just in case people want to, is that team members only or anybody?
Members, and sometimes there's exceptions for longtime alumni.
Gotcha. And where's the clinic again? It just clicked in my head.
Yeah, so it switches off every other year. Last year was in San Luis Obispo, California. That's where it used to always be. Beautiful riding. I went last year and I had an amazing time. During the pandemic, they wanted to go somewhere where they didn't have to fly. And the coach that runs it, that used to be on XXX, Randy Warren, he lives in Asheville. So it's like, let's do camp in Asheville for the pandemic year. So we don't have to get on planes. You could drive. We could do it safely. And people liked it. So now it alternates every year between San Luis Obispo, California and Asheville, North Carolina. This year it happens to be in Asheville. Next year we'll go back to San Luis Obispo, California.
Gotcha. All right. So now you guys know. Guys, XXX is I'm with them now. I'm in a network with them now. I'm telling you, I can't believe the amount of things that they do as a club.
More than you know.
I mean, amazing. And you see guys, there's one guy I always in Sheridan, he's maybe like 150 years old. I was in XXX jersey. And if you know, it's a much older guy. I've been seeing this guy for since I've been riding. And he's always going up and down. He's like, maybe the first.
150 years old.
Yeah, maybe in the first XXX jersey. And he always ride up and down Sheridan. And I've seen him. When I saw Dean, I think last Friday when I was out riding, and right before I saw Dean, I saw that guy.
I need to find out who this is.
But I've seen that guy for over 5 years now, always riding up and down Sheridan.
I think he doesn't come on
between Plaza and like Tower. I've always seen him on the stretch at some point. He's a much older guy, white hair. But he
used to come on the team ride sometimes, but I see him
on the first XXX jersey. I think he used to,
and it still is in one piece.
In one piece still. So again, XXX has been around for a long time, and they're doing again amazing things in the community. Matt's an example of that as a leader, and we have other leaders too. We can't, we're not gonna. I'm not gonna call names because if I call names, and I have to remember everybody, and I can't remember everybody right now, but I know
you can have them on.
Yeah, there's some great leadership at XXX. They're really some amazing things in the community on all levels of riding, from adult, middle age to seniors to masters. everything is going on. So again, we have someone like Matt in the network, guys, and he's one of the reasons or why Chicago is, I think, is one of the most unique places I've ever seen for cycling. I've lived in Miami, I've lived in Dallas, but Chicago, I've gotten into the system, and my God, such beauty in the network, and so much more to achieve, and we're gonna get there. And again,
Thank you
Matt's
for
one
your
of them,
kind words.
gonna help to push the sport. And I keep on talking to a lot of people, and then I always say we need to bring back some um, more road races to Illinois. And I'm always like calling on XXX to bring back road racing. And
Yeah, it's hard,
yeah,
but it would
like,
be nice
please,
to have.
because even Bryce Mead, who I featured, was a pro back in his road for Jelly Belly. He's ridden with all the big guns from XXX. He was even mentioning XXX and talking about. I'm like, well, XXX is yeah. And he said, we need to bring back, because there's some amazing roads out west, man.
There are.
I wish you could actually have like a tour of Illinois or something like that in a couple of years or whatever, because I've ridden those roads, man. You go to like Western Illinois, like in Savannah,
out near
Galena, Elizabeth area. Oh, good stuff. So hopefully one day XXX can be the leader, because they're doing some great stuff. They help with Intelligentsia, Chicago
Yes,
Grit. They host that stuff and put on some of the days. And
we have a time trial coming up on June 1st in Kankakee that you can do on road bikes. You don't need to try time trial bikes. So it's the old Stray Cats Two Rivers Road Race course. I recommend coming out there. Kankakee actually has some good roads to ride on too.
That's right. It's down like southwest.
I don't know if it's 50 or 55. Check Google Maps before you get in your car, but it's one of those expressways south, about an hour from here.
Perfect. Matt was here. Omar is here. And guys, as I always say, guys, keep the miles and smiles going until we meet again. One love.